Hello and welcome to my new lecture. In this lecture today I will explain about OpenVPN protocol. As we said before, OpenVPN is a VPN protocol. The MTU size for OpenVPN protocol is 1500. Mean any packet will go out from any computer through OpenVPN protocol. The packet size will be 1500 bytes, and the OpenVPN protocol work under TCP, and the port for this protocol is 1194. So the benefit of OpenVPN is a flexible protocol, so you can change the port, you can make it run on 443 instead of 1194, because some countries the ISP close the 1194 port or PPTP ports or L2TP ports, so we can make OpenVPN work on 443 port. So because 443 port, as we know, nobody can close it, because most of social media websites working in 443, or most of banks, if you go to any bank website you will see HTTPS. So this means this website work under HTTPS 443 protocol. So we can change OpenVPN to 443 and make it work without any problem. So we will start this lab now. First thing we have to do, we have to open the ISP router, the ISP modem, and we have to forward OpenVPN ports 1194 on TCP to our MikroTik IP address. And we have also, if you have this option, trigger port option, you have to open ports on trigger tab. And we have to put our router in DMZ zone, as we said before in PPTP lab. So I will go to my ISP router, I will go to this IP, then I will go to forward rules. But I will tell you one thing, something you have to know. This ISP now, it's not in my site. I am in different site now. I am connecting through VPN to this site. And I am configuring this ISP modem. So after I finish this one, I will disconnect from this connection, this VPN connection, and I will connect as a remote to site through OpenVPN. So very important to know. This IP address is not in my local network. This in different area. This in another site. So first we have to go to port mapping configuration. You will see it in your router, maybe in different GUI. Maybe you will see it inside security tab, or in port mapping or forward rules. So I will go to forward rules and I will add a new rule. I will name it Open VPN -ports. And I will give the internal host the IP of MikroTik router 192.168.100.254, and the protocol will be TCP, and the external port 1194, the OpenVPN port, and 1194, and the internal port from 1194 until 1194. Then I will click apply. This option is enough if you don't have trigger configuration. Some routers they have trigger configuration, so you need to configure it. If you don't have this step, port mapping is enough and it will work with you. So I will go now for port trigger configuration, and I will add a new trigger port. I will tell the router trigger on TCP any connection 1194. So the ISP modem will listen for any connection on 1194 and will start open this connection on port 1194, then 1194. After the ISP will open this port, it will go to port mapping and it will forward to my MikroTik IP address. Also very important, you have to put your MikroTik IP address in the DMZ zone. As I said before, the DMZ zone means that if you put your router in DMZ zone, the IP address of your router in DMZ zone means you open everything for this router, like it's accessing the internet directly without any closing any ports. So now, after we finish this, we already put our IP in DMZ zone before in PPTP lecture. We have to go to the next slide. Now we have to check from UGET signal tool if port 1194 in TCP is open or not. So I will go to UGET signal. As I tell you, here in UGET signal, we have to give him the DDNS and the port to check on it. So the DDNS or the public IP, we can put it here. I will take the DNS from this router. This is the VPN server. So I will take the DDNS and I will make copy, then I will paste it here, then I will check 1194. It should give us green flag, so means this one is open now. After that, we have to add two filter rules. First filter rule, we have to open 1194 on TCP and allow the second rule, allow all PPP connections from internet. So I will go to Winbox, IP, firewall. I will add any input connection. The chain will be input on protocol TCP and destination port 1194. The action will be accept, and I will click apply. Then I will copy this rule. I will remove this one and this one. I will tell him any chain, any input connection, any interface, all PPP, mean any connection that work under point-to-point protocol like OpenVPN or PPTP. The action will be apply, also accept, and I will click apply. Then we will see this is our two rules. I will put it in the top before the drop rule. So now this is our two rules. After that, we have to create OpenVPN pool and profile and secret as we make before in the PPTP configuration. So I will go first to IP pool. I will add open-vpn pool, and this pool you should give range of addresses. So any remote connection like remote PC, remote user, or remote MikroTik router will take IP address from this OpenVPN pool. So the range of these addresses, I will tell him from 172, for example, .16.40.2, start from 172.60.40.2 until 172.60.40.200. So any remote connection, it will take between 172.60.40.2 until 200. I will click apply, then OK. Then I will go to PPP profile. I will create a new profile. I will name it as OpenVPN -profile. Then the remote address for any remote connection, it should take IP address from our OpenVPN pool, and this remote address, after he take the IP, the gateway for him will be 172.16.40.1 as we make here in IP pool. This is the range for remote address 172.60.40.2 or .3 or .4, and the gateway for this remote address will be 40.1. So I will click apply, OK. Then I will go to secrets tab and I will create a new secret for my PC. For example, I will create a new user. I will name it as a OpenVPN open-vpn-remote user and the password, I will give it the same password for now, same username. I will give the password, or you can change it. I will change it. And the service OpenVPN, we will select OpenVPN, and the profile OpenVPN profile. I will click apply, then OK. After that, we have to create OpenVPN certificate. So what is OpenVPN certificate? In any connection, if for example I want to make remote to site connection or site to site connection, if my computer want to connect to MikroTik VPN server with OpenVPN protocol, then the MikroTik VPN server will authenticate my PC with the OpenVPN server through certificate. So we have to create certificate called CA, certificate authority, for the server, and we will create another certificate for my PC. This is certificate, we'll name it as a remote user certificate. So I will put this certificate, remote user certificate, on my PC, and we will create certificate for the server. So we have three certificates. First certificate for the MikroTik, second certificate for the VPN server, third certificate for my PC, or for any remote user you have to create certificate. So we will see it now in real example, so we can understand this one. So I will go to system tab. After that I will go to certificate. I will add a new certificate. The name for this certificate, CA. CA stands for certificate authority, and the common name will be the same, CA. And here the days are valid for this certificate, only 365 days, so I can increase it. I will put 0 here. After that we will go to key usage. I will select the keys for CA certificate authority. The keys for certificate authority should be only crl.sign and keysert.sign. Then I will click apply. Then I will click sign. After I click on sign, it will ask me for the host for this certificate authority. The host for this certificate authority will be 127.0.0.1, means the same MikroTik router. Then I will click start. Now after finish, it should give me done here. Okay, done. Now we create the certificate authority. After that I have to export this certificate in the files tab, so I will click on export, because I will export this. After I export this certificate, I have to take it and put it on my computer, so that after that I can connect to the VPN server. Now remaining 2 certificates, 1 certificate for the server and 1 certificate for the computer. We create the certificate for MikroTik, remaining 1 certificate for OpenVPN server and 1 certificate for remote user. So I will click on add. I will create this certificate. I will name it as OpenVPN-VPN-server, and I will copy this name. I will paste it here, common name the same, and I will increase the days, valid days, and the keys should be that digital signatures and key enhancement and TLS server. This is for TLS server. If we making for remote user or for a client, remote client, we will select TLS client, and I will click apply. After that I will export, or this certificate, no need to export this OpenVPN server certificate, because we will select it. We will not export this one to my PC. We will just select this OpenVPN server certificate from PPP tab, and we will see after we finish this one. Then I will click sign. After I click apply, I will click sign, and we will sign this certificate with the certificate authority that we created before. I will select here CA, our CA, and I will click start. Okay, now done. Now remaining 1 certificate for our remote client for my PC. So I will name this certificate remote dash PC. This is for my PC. Then I will copy this one. I will name it here, and I will increase the days. Then I will select same keys before, but this one TLS client, because this is client, not server. I will click apply, then sign with our certificate authority. I will click start. Why I do this one? Because now this is certificate remote PC. Once I connect from my PC to the server, to the OpenVPN server, it will authenticate me with the certificate authority. So I will now, after I finish, I will have to export this one. I will export, and I have to put password for remote PC. Any remote PC, I have to put password, because this is the remote client. I will put password, for example. You can put any password. I will click export. Now if we go to files, you will see our certificates that we created before. If you didn't click on export, you will not see this is files. So this is file, first file, certificate authority, as we see, export underscore CA. Second file, remote dash PC certificate. Third file, the password that we put it once we export the file. We put the password, so this is the key, remote PC dot key. So this is 3 files that we needed to connect to OpenVPN server. Okay, after that we see here we have to enable OpenVPN server and select the certificate authority. the server certificate. So I will go to PPP, I will go to interface, OpenVPN server. You have to check to enable this one, and here the certificate for OpenVPN server, we already create OpenVPN server certificate. So I'll click here and apply, then OK. Now remaining to test connect as remote to site connection from Windows computer. So to connect, you have to download one application called OpenVPN. This OpenVPN, I will give you the link in the resources, so I will download it now, and I will download another file, .openvpn file. This OpenVPN file, very important. This is the template for any client connection. You will see now when I open the OpenVPN application, you should import .ovpn file. So this is OVPN file. We will give him the IP address of our Microtech VPN server and our certificate name, so we can connect. So I will set up this application. This is our OpenVPN. I will click yes, then I will click next, I agree, then next, then install, and we will wait until finish. Okay, now we will click next and finish. Now we finish the installation. As we see, I download this OVPN file. Also, I will give you this OVPN file in the resources, so I will put it here for now. Now I will create new folder. I will name it. You can name it any name. For example, I will name it Khalid as my name. Then I will put this file inside. Then I have to take the certificates that we created on the Microtech router. So I will go to files. I will take this one and this one and this one. Then I will drag and put it here inside. So now we have this is 3 certificate. So I will open this file. I will rename it here as only, without this one, only Khalid. You can name it any name, this file. Okay, I will open this file. Now here it's asked for remote server, the IP address for your Microtech VPN server. So I don't have public IP address. I have dynamic DNS. So I will copy this dynamic DNS, copy, or from IP cloud you can copy this one. Then I will go to the file and I will paste it here. Means now it will connect to remote VPN server in this DNS on port 1194. After that, you see here we have TLS client tab here, TLS client. Now we have 3 important things: CA and CERT and key. The CA, it will be the certificate authority that we created and exported from Microtech. So this one we have to click here and Control A, we have to copy the full name. Then we have to select here after CA and paste it. So after CA you should paste this name. After that we have to click here also, copy full name for this. Then we have to replace it with this one. You see, after cert word space, then paste this one, .crt. Last one, the key that we exported from Microtech. Also I will Control A, copy, then I will replace it with this one, Control V. Then you should remove this semicolon. I will remove it for now. And last thing we have to do, the route. The route, very important. The route means once you connect as a remote VPN connection to this OpenVPN server, tell me the networks that you want to reach it. So the networks that I want to reach it in this OpenVPN server, we can see it here from IP addresses. I want to reach this network 50 and 100. So I will put here 192.168.50.0 and I will give him the subnet /24.255.255.255.0 and I will copy this one. I will paste it and I will put here also the network 100. Then I will save, Control S, then I close. After we finish all of this, remaining 1 point, I will take this folder, Khalid folder, I will copy this folder, then I will go to C drive. Inside C drive I will go to users, then I will go to my current user Khalid, then I will go to OpenVPN folder. We have to search for OpenVPN folder. you should see here OpenVPN folder, but maybe because I will open it here again. Maybe before I have, oh okay, now because I double click again I see it now. Before, because I removed the OpenVPN, then I install it again. So I will go to OpenVPN, then we will go inside config folder, then I will paste this folder. After that, now we finish. I will just click here in this up arrow, then I will click on OpenVPN GUI, right click. After that I will connect. Now it will ask me for username and password. The username, we already create the secret in PPP tab, so I will go and I will take the secret from here, OpenVPN remote user. I will copy this one, then I will paste it here, then I will put the password. I will put the password that I put it for this secret, then I will select on save password and I will click OK. Now it will ask you for second password. Second password is the password that we put it when we export the certificate. You remember when we go to system, certificate, and once we export this remote PC, when we click export, we put here paraphrase, export paraphrase, we put password. So you have to put this password that you put it here, same here. So I will put the password and we'll click OK, and we will see here in PPP I am connected now. If you watch the logs also, I will disconnect from this one. If you have to click here, you will see it in the, you should see it in the green color. So now you should see in the log, if we see OpenVPN user connected, and here I am connected. So you should see it also here in green color. If I open the CMD and try to ping 192.168.50.1, I am able to ping. Also if I ping 100.1, I am able to ping. Also I would ping my server there, also I am able to ping. For now we finish this lecture. Next lecture I will explain how you can make a site-to-site connection. One remote MikroTik will connect to MikroTik OpenVPN server through OpenVPN protocol. Thank you for watching and goodbye.